Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear investors. It's so great to see so many of you here and I have the possibility to give you an update on Savo-Solar. Here are the main points of my presentation. So first of all, I will tell you some points about the solar thermal potential, overall potential. I will run very fast through the company facts. I think many of you have seen them already quite a few times. Then I will tell you how we are planning to catch the opportunity and meet the growth targets, so telling our market concept. And then the last point here is the completely new thing about the Chinese market potential and our latest activities over there. Whoever is talking about energy nowadays and whatever publications or articles you read, if you count Trump's tweets away, everybody's saying that heating is actually making the most negative effect to the environment, since there's so much used by fossil fuels. For example, last weekend there was a Fortum CEO was in the television interview in Finland, and he said that in Europe 50% of the energy consumption is going to heating, and for example in Germany some 70% of that is made by fossil fuels. So earlier the focus was very much in the electricity, as we all know, but now the focus is moving towards the clean heating. And it's of course in the district heating of residential buildings, but also in industrial processes and cooling and such things. The large systems can provide a very economical energy cost to their users. If you think about a year ago, the large system business was active mainly in Denmark, and that is why the slow political decision-making in Denmark has affected so much in the whole industry, whole business segment. Now the situation is different. There's a lot of activity also in Denmark, but luckily and for benefit of us at least, elsewhere in Europe and outside Europe also. One example is of the need of the heating energy or heat energy in the world is the global heat demand in industry. So basically the industries are using in their processes more heat energy than the global need is needing energy for electricity, which is a bit surprise to everybody, I suppose. As you can see there's a lot of different temperatures, so you can say that everything can't be solved by solar energy, but actually pretty big part of the whole package could be solved by the solar energy. And when an industrial company is thinking about what type of energy source they are using for they process heating, these are now some benefits of the solar thermal energy. First of all, the company can use the biggest energy source there is, which will never end, well, at least in our lifetime or next generations. Sorry, the television is going to close down. Then the second thing is that solar thermal is actually harvesting more than 3 times same energy, more than 3 times energy compared to the PV, which can be very interesting if you have a limited roof area in a factory. In most cases, the fossil fuels are imported when you are doing the heating in the processes, and when using the solar thermal energy, you can replace imported energy by clean, free energy source, solar energy, and at the same time create local jobs and improve the competitiveness of the domestic industries. Okay, now I look from there. This picture I have shown before, and I will not go in the details in this time, but still I want to show this picture because this is one of the best pictures concerning the energy discussion on where we are and where we are going I have seen in past years. So everywhere, it's not anymore of one energy source or fuel or something. It's more like an energy system. So we have to consider the whole energy need and energy production as a complete system, and then utilize as much as possible clean, renewable energy sources to produce the energy. And in that, solar thermal will have a very important role in the future. So shortly now, this is our mission. So we are building the leading technology in solar thermal, and we help our customers to provide competitive clean energy via that. And by doing it, we are doing our share of fighting the climate change. And our vision is to be the global first choice supplier to high performance solar installations in 2020. And we are doing the right steps all the time towards that goal. And this is what we do and deliver to our customers: large-scale solar thermal energy systems, either with only collector field installed or then everything more and more together as a turnkey delivery. This is Lokumkloster, 15,000 square meters in Denmark. I will not tell about more details on this. Just highlight that I have now added, I hope this is added here, the video links to the YouTube videos where our customers, in this case the plant manager, is telling his feedback to us and his experience of our system. These videos can all be found from our website or then through these links, and you can also come to see on our stand during the day. I can show them from my computer. This is the other one in Denmark, Sølested, and you can see the link also down there. Jyderup with more than 9,000 square meters of our collectors. Jelling, which is still the most efficient collector measured by one day production in Denmark. And then also Ystad, where customer is very happy to get clean solar energy to their famous sports hall. And all these systems are made by using our large collectors, which are the most efficient solar thermal collectors in the world, whether measured by the customers or the independent testing labs. And just to remind that in this picture, every blue dot is a collector, and showing the performance ratio, so how performance per square meters cross area. And Savo-Solar collectors are really different compared to any other competing product in the industry. So how we can do it, how we can meet the growth targets, what is our strategy or concept, how we are doing it. And this is sort of, let's say, simplified illustration of what we are doing, how we are doing it. And first of all, we have the leading technology, the most efficient products, high quality, beautiful visual appearance, at least in the eyes of the engineer. Then we look local partners, so companies who can work together with us locally in the area. They know the local customers, they know the local regulations, laws, and they can work there without any additional costs. And at the same time, they are bringing their local jobs, benefiting the local economy by doing clean energy systems together with us. And then this is one part of our DNA really that we always want to make the best solution for the customer, so they can succeed in their businesses. So this we do together with our partners, and our target is winning customer and community prosperity. And you can believe me when I say that this is a really powerful concept when going outside Finland and Sweden. So it's very important that you always try to benefit the local economy in a way or another. For example, we have now already received several connections from our partners or let's say to be partners to customers that we have never known. So we are getting, in addition to the possibility to deliver locally bigger entities, bigger systems, we are getting also marketing and sales resources without adding our own people. It takes a bit longer, maybe, than going with our own forces, but it definitely will pay back in time. In practice, it means looks like this. So it's a how to say, box play structure. So basically, this is what we deliver, where it is here. It is a solar thermal installation. It can include a water tank. It can include even wood chip boiler or whatever. But still, the idea is that we are doing our share, and then we find a partner who is doing things that we don't have the resources or competencies, and together then we are delivering the whole system, the best possible solution to the customer. And then we can sell it either as a one-time projects to customers like district heating company or energy company, or then we can do repeatedly with somebody, customers who then invest in the systems and then they sell the energy. They are called as ESCO deals, so energy sales contracts. So we would be looking for partners who would be, we would be repeatedly designing them a winning solution which they then can use and then sell to the customers. And these are a list of customers we are focusing in, depending on a bit which market, how mature the market is. Then some examples of what we are doing on this sector, meaning the concepts. So Latin America with Jörgensen, the market, we are proceeding well in the marketing and sales activities. And just wanted to take one picture or slide from Jörgensen. This is showing the energy prices from different energy sources, and you can see there's a diesel, natural gas, and then solar energy, thermal energy, depending on the depreciation time. And it's basically so that if you have a close by natural gas, there's no financial economy to build up a solar thermal, even though from the emission point of view it could be like that. But when you're going above 70 US dollars per megawatt hours, then it's very economical to do that. In Europe, we have several countries where also the local presence seems to be very important. Even in Denmark, which is a very mature market, the additional asset of having a local partners seems to be important. In France, we have quite a lot of activities, and for the project with New Heat we announced in June, it's still in the situation that the negotiations have been advancing well, but the customer New Heat is waiting for the final land permit from the local authorities. So we are in the same situation than in August, but it is still expected to be realized before next summer. This I wanted to take here, that this is why, as an example, why things can take a long time also from our side and the customer side. This is let's say about 10,000 square meters field in the middle, and on the right side you can see the coming customer owner of the field. And we have done several designs to the customer together with our partner. And depending on how you design the system, how you design the operation of the system, compared to the competitor we have there, we could produce 20 to 30% more energy. And then it depends on the customer how they want to operate the system. So we have designed the system several times, at least 4 times to them, redesigned the water tank and everything. And we are able to bring something more than the competitors are while doing it by using our efficient solution. And then China, as said, we announced this morning release that we have made a letter of intent with the Chinese Beijing Yuxin company, and here some more on China. So basically, let's say that I have some slides from a presentation 1.5 weeks ago from Abu Dhabi. So the Chinese representative was showing this presentation over there, and I have now a chance to show some of the same slides here. So I was talking about heat being in focus everywhere, heating, clean heating, and so it is also in China. And China government has decided to give almost 10 billion euro support in next 3 years for clean heating in China. And as we have seen recently how strong position the chairman Xi Jinping having in China, and he has pushed this initiative ahead. And you see there's coal-fired furnace, small coal boilers, it's no, meaning there will be a lot of movement to reach this target now in China. In China, the solar resource and the population are not very well fitting together, but still where you have a lot of solar resource, you have an undeveloped infrastructure still, and you have need for new energy sources, but you also have a lot of land area to build the big systems. And this is one list of the systems that are in the design table or already construction. So this list is consisting over 400,000 square meters in China, and it's not stopping there. There's a lot of more coming up. So the potential is actually, it's very huge. And they do, again, things that when they start, they jump a bit further and higher than we have done in Western world. This is one example. This is already in construction. I mean, they are building up the huge pit storage for the seasonal storage, 200,000 cubic meters. And this will be used both for heating and cooling. So in that sense, it will be a very advanced system to compare to anything that is under operation in the world. This is another one. And this is also showing the idea of the energy system. You have both solar thermal and PV in the same system coming up when this will be built. And I don't know how many have been listening to me earlier, but every time I remember somebody has asked that, do you see Chinese as a threat for yourself? And I have said also always that, no, actually we see that as an opportunity. And now today I'm happy to say that we have been able to take the next steps toward to catch the opportunity. So we have made a letter of intent with the Chinese medium-sized solar thermal company, and who has actually very good connections inside China, which is maybe one of the most important thing when you are looking for the Chinese partner, in addition to them understanding what they are doing, having the technical capabilities and funding. So our plan together with them is threefolded, basically. They are actually now in Mikkeli, they CEO, so I will be flying back there and meeting them a couple of days there. And plan to find a way to do the first deal, and then during the first delivery, we would transfer the collector manufacturing capability there, making a license agreement. And then if and when the volumes are high enough, we will be starting to consider also making the absorber manufacturing over there. It will be a bit longer perspective development, but I think that in the longer run we need anyhow a second source place also to do that. And then we have the warrants. The price will be defined on Thursday. And then I end my presentation with the summary that I use whenever I'm showing something of the company to our local, possible local partners or customers. So first, we are specializing in solar thermal installations with leading technology and help our customers to find the most competitive way of doing the clean energy. We do with partners systems that are the most reliable total solution to the customer, and then we work closely together with local partners benefiting both the customer and local economy. And I added here the fourth point. So we continue to see it very possible and probable to have 20 million euros turnover by 2019. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Jari, for a very interesting presentation. And you're very welcome here we'll have a short question and answer session. So I will start with questions from the audience. Yes?
On the new heat contract, just so I understand, because this is quite a big contract. So you're saying, first when you announced it, you said that you were the preferred bidder and that you were aiming to finalize the discussions in September.
End of September, yes.
And if I understand correctly, everything is going to plan, but just a little bit delayed. And are you still expecting this to be delivered during the first half of 2018?
Yes.
I can rehearse the question here. So it was about which project was it?
New heat.
The new heat contract, and when it will be
in France.
In France. Okay.
Yes.
And when it will be executed. Was that the question?
Yes.
Yes. The situation is such that it looks like that even though the French government itself is supporting the idea of putting solar thermal there, they have quite high subsidies there to speed it up. It also looks like that the local government administration is not very familiar yet how to do things to make it happen as fast as needed, and that's why the local permitting with the local municipalities, it needs to be time. This is the first really big system in whole France, which will be realized. So it looks like that it needs some time. It's only one land permit that is missing from New Heat. And when they get it, then we hopefully can very soon start to realize the project, start to do things there for the land preparations, pipings, and then starting to send the collectors over there.
Any more? Yes, an audience question?
You showed two large pictures in China of things that where they were going to be starting with the solar system. Is this something that you've already started with them? Or is this a prospective area that could be used?
So the Chinese partner...
Yes, I
sorry.
can repeat the question. The question was about China and the pictures you showed there. Was that the areas that you're planning to do activities, or can you explain more on that?
Those two pictures were just examples that the Chinese representative in Abu Dhabi was showing, and I just took them as an examples. And there are more coming up. And in our case, with this Yushin, they are still bidding on one of those big deals. And we are the only partner in that. So if they win, and we think when they win, we would be then starting to deliver the first collectors from us. But the main target for them is to acquire the European leading technology to be manufactured in China and to be one big player in the Chinese market together with us. Our competitors, two competitors are already there. So now Yuxin sees this potential for them to be one of the big players also in China, and we are happy to help them to do that. And then both expand our market presence, but also find maybe better local sourcing, have a secondary source if we have limiting on capacity and such things. And so it's a good possibility for really big and fast growth in that area.
Yes, another from audience.
Yes, I have a question on the valuation. With 2 million in cash and a market cap of 7 million, you're basically valued at liquidation value. And your technology is validated in the first market, Denmark, and many countries have said they will follow, now lately China. Can you elaborate a little bit on how you see the market viewing a company? Or am I missing something?
Yes, the question was about the current valuation of the company compared to those prospects and projects that you're already involved in.
So I have been advised that the CEO should not give very solid comments on the company valuation. The market is defining it. Our task is then to bring out the good and sometimes bad news, and then the market is doing that. But of course, I think everybody can do the comparison to some other companies there and make their own conclusions out of that.
What volume can you scale to with the current production facility?
As we have said already earlier, that from our factory we are able to send out, depending on the content what we are delivering as a project, but 20 to 30 million euros volume from our current factory, just increasing some shifts over there, and then of course adding installation work, partners and such things. Then going above 30 million, then we need some investments to adding capacity, and still then we have now the China possibility to have the second facility over there instead of building in Mikkeli, which actually is not a very sensible way of thinking, that we would be adding capacity in Mikkeli. Just do as much as possible in Mikkeli to get the economy right, and then find a, let's say, more central location for the next step. That's very normal in every industry, I should say. The way to think.
See, another question here from the audience.
I think it would be interesting to hear your comment a little bit on the Danish market, because this is a mature market, but even though, as I understand it, there's a lot of things that's going to happen in the first half of 2018. And why is that? And also, one of your the biggest project you have done historically is in Lögenkloster. You showed that on the slide. This is 15,000 square meters. You also had a little line there that said that they're planning on expanding this with 35,000 square meters. If you could comment on that as well.
Yeah, it was a question about the Danish market, and your biggest project, current project is there, and if you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. I should have said it already there in my presentation. I was planning to, but the Danish market actually, as explained, that they had a more than half-year stop everything because the politicians were not deciding what they do with the new, let's say, subsidy system or taxation system concerning the renewable energy. And that can be seen now from all of us. So us and our competitors are suffering of that, because a year ago the Danish market was the only active market, and now it went down. Now they have a new subsidy system, which means that the energy companies have to decide, have all the decisions and agreements ready by end of June next year, so they can get the subsidies. And there was 3 weeks ago a Danish District Heating Association's annual meeting, and their governmental, or the Danish District Heating representative was saying that they know that in the next 7 months there will be at least 18 tenders coming out, which all will be decided before end of June 2018, and then delivered before end of June 2019, because that then they have to be operational. So there will be a lot of projects coming up in the really soon. Unfortunately, one problem is that they are having a municipality elections now in November, so politicians are stalling the decisions and that, but still tenders are coming out.
So, do you have a follow-up question? Yes.
And Lögenkloster, is that also coming down in first half of 2018?
That is still in their list, yes. They have, I don't know, they don't tell exactly to us, but our understanding is that yes, they will have a tender in June.
So, and we are running out of time here, so we have to end this. I want to thank you, Jari, very much for this presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.